Hey, how you doing? Duff here, and I just wanted to drop in and give you a quick update on my Dagoma Neva. I've done a considerable amount of printing on it since I got it a little over a week ago, I guess, and everything that I got to print, the quality was good. It was acceptable. Everything I printed was pretty cool, and I think the fanciest thing I printed was an ornate cross. I think I mentioned this the last time I talked about this. An ornate cross for Cindy that actually, quality-wise, it was probably the best out of any of my three printers to date as far as quality goes. But then yesterday I tried to start a print, and it started normally, and I got like an outline, like a skirt around the object, but then it was just blank. It wasn't bringing anything. And the extruder over here, you heard a lot of noise, a lot of clicking going on. So I wasn't sure what was going on, so I turned it off, and the first thing I did was I dug into the extruder on the side, and that's not a fun time. It's not so bad once you understand how it goes together. Basically, you got three screws here, and you need to kind of do it in a certain order. Normally, really, the only screw you should have to futz with is this one, because that holds this arm in, and the collet is in that section as well. So really, all you need to do is take off this one screw to address pretty much anything you'll have with the extruder. And the reason you want to minimize that is because I took out all three, and then what happens when you do that, the extruder motor, once you take out these three screws, it's no longer secured to anything. It's just kind of sitting in here. So in order to put it back together, it was a real pain in the ass. You had to just try to kind of line up the motor ahead of time, and then kind of peek in and see if you're lined up, and then hope that you actually catch some threads. And long story short, it took me a long time to get it back together. But anyways, my problem was a jam up in the head. When I did some more investigation. Ooh. So once I identified that there was just a clog up in the head. Let me turn this back around. Alright, so once I determined there's a clog up in the head, I'm like, okay, well, let's see the proper way to fix that. And you know, I've had a lot of good things to say about the Dagoma Neva, but there are some bad things. One of the advantages of this printer, one of the things that they will promote is simplicity. Basically, you capture your model, export it from their customized version of Cura, and dump it on this SD card, put the SD card in, hit a button, and it prints. And they will have you believe that it's that simple. And if everything works, it can be that simple. But when things don't work, then the simplicity starts to get frustrating at times, because you don't have any control panel to give you any sort of feedback. Anyways, well, you can probably smell, maybe you can't really see. You can see, well, let me back up. To unclog it, now, like with a conventional printer like my CR10, you know, you would raise the nozzle temperature and then try to unclog the filament, either by jamming other filament in there, poking it out with a small needle or a small screwdriver or something. Since there's no way to manually do that on the front of the printer, the way you have to get into that mode is there's custom G-code that you download from Dagoma off their website, that you put on this SD card, turn it on. Basically what it does is it brings the printer head down to about here, and then heats the print head up to 220 degrees. And once that happens, then you pop this tube out, and then you start trying to push out whatever is clogging your head, which is what I did. And you know, I was pushing stuff through, and I got filament coming out the bottom end. But then after I put everything back together, I tried to print a Christmas benchy on this, and you can see what the end result was. Looks terrible, right? Basically, it seemed like it still has some sort of partial blockage going on. And it's all stringy. It's falling apart, basically. Looks like crap. Yeah, so no good. So, one of the things that I think I've talked about before is the lack of documentation with the Neva. The couple pieces of paper they give you as a instruction manual are very, very sparse, and I a couple times have contacted Neva support and said, hey, don't you guys have like a real manual, like online, a PDF or something I can at least download and look at? And my initial response basically was no, just go to their support section of their website, which again is not great. You know, it's a French company, and you can kind of tell that this was done by maybe some French people that are trying to design a website for English-speaking people. But the site is not great. It does have some basic troubleshooting stuff, but oh boy, interesting. On my CR10 over there, I was trying to print that same Christmas Benchy, and it looks like it just threw up for some reason. I'm not sure why. So anyways, yeah, so maybe there's a problem with the model. I don't know. Let's try to print something else. But anyways, the support website is not great. The included documentation is not great. So those are definitely some negatives with the Neva. So anyways, what my plan for this tonight was I was going to again run that custom G code to home the head and bring the print head up to temperature, and then I was going to run some of this cleaning filament that I used in my CR10, run it through the Neva and see if I can totally make sure that I got that whatever blockage is in that tube, get that out and see if I have better luck. So that is my plan for now. So anyways, again, my overall opinion of the Neva is still good, but it definitely has some shortcomings, especially if you already have some experience with 3D printing. There's going to be some stuff that's going to frustrate you about this, pretty much guaranteed. But again, I have to keep in mind it was $250, so it was not expensive. I didn't drop a ton of money, so you know, the adage, you get what you pay for, always applies in most things I've ever run into in my entire life. So I think this is just more of the same. But anyways, I'll let you know what my outcome is on this one. Hopefully I can get it printing again cleanly. So that's it for now. Till next time, Duffman out.